The secret of change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Socrates. You've stood there, heart pounding, her eyes dragging you into a void you can't name. It's not love. It's a blade, warm and sharp, sinking into your chest before you feel the cut. You call it desire. I call it leverage. Every man knows this moment, senses blurred, spine softened, ready to trade his soul for her nod. This isn't romance. It's a trap you walked into blind. Welcome to the arena where men don't just lose women, they lose themselves. Picture it. You're 30, alone in a dim apartment, her scent still haunting the air after she left. The silence isn't quiet. It's a scalpel, slicing through the lies you fed yourself. You thought her touch was your worth, her smile your anchor. You built a life to keep her close, only to find she was never yours to hold. Socrates saw this centuries ago. He didn't curse women. He decoded them. Men chase truth. Women chase survival. Her charm isn't cruelty. It's calculation. Her distance isn't rejection. It's a test. And you're failing, not because you're weak, but because you're blind. Socrates didn't blink. He stared into the mirror of human nature and saw what men dodge. A woman's power lies in what she conceals, not what she offers. Her beauty is a mirror, reflecting your hunger back at you. The man who misses this becomes a puppet, dancing for her glance, trading his mission for her warmth. But the man who sees, he chooses. He steps from delusion into clarity. That's the call here, not to hate, not to dominate, but to see, to pick awareness over obedience. Here on Dark Psyphoria, we don't flinch. We face the raw pain, abandonment, betrayal, the ache of needing her to feel alive. We don't sell comfort, we sell truth, and truth burns before it builds. Subscribe to Dark Psyphoria. Not for hype, but for the voice you've silenced too long. Your own. You've been fed a lie. Her love makes you whole. Her smile is your salvation. Movies, songs, even your own heart. They've sold you a myth. You chased her light, thinking it would burn away your darkness, but her light isn't yours. It's a lure, pulling you into her orbit. Socrates warned in Phaedrus. Love without reason is madness. You feel it as passion. She sees it as timing. Biologically, women are wired for survival. A 2018 study in evolutionary psychology found women prioritize partners with status and stability, traits that scream security. Her affection isn't random. It's a chess move honed by evolution. Psychologically, she mirrors your flaws. Crave her approval, and she smells it, like a wolf senses blood. Her silence, her distance, they're not mistakes. They're tests, probing your frame. Spiritually, she's a mirror, not a savior. She reflects your voids, not your virtues. You don't need her to feel complete. You need to face the emptiness you've ducked. Have you ever mistaken her warmth for your worth? One minute she's softness, a beacon in your chaos. The next she's calculation, her eyes scanning for weakness. You thought her light was your home, but it's a spotlight exposing your hunger. You've built castles in her name, brick by brick, only to find she's already gone. The myth tells you to chase harder, to prove your devotion. But devotion without discernment is a chain you lock yourself. Socrates saw this. A man who doesn't question his desires is a slave, not a lover. Her light isn't your salvation, it's your test. And the test isn't to win her, it's to see yourself. You've felt it. That moment her smile fades and your world tilts. You scramble, offering pieces of yourself to bring her back. But every piece you give makes you smaller. She's not the prize, she's the mirror, showing you what you refuse to face. The pain isn't her coldness, it's your blindness. You thought love was surrender, but surrender without clarity is betrayal. of yourself. You thought love meant surrender. You gave her your heart, your dreams, your time. You built a shrine to her, believing devotion would bind her. But devotion without discernment is chains. Socrates saw this in The Republic. A soul ruled by appetite is a tyrant's soul, always thirsty, never still. You're not loving her, you're addicted to her nod, and she knows it. The moment you handed her your crown, she tested you, not out of spite, but instinct. Machiavelli wrote, "Men are so simple that he who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived." Her tests aren't personal, they're primal. She pulls away, you chase. She withholds, you beg. Each time you bend, you lose gravity. You become a satellite, orbiting her moods, not a man with his own center. The silence wasn't empty, it was surgical, exposing the wound you ignored. You need her more than you need yourself. You thought love meant surrender. You gave her your heart, your dreams, your time. You built a shrine to her, believing devotion would bind her. But devotion without discernment is chains. Socrates saw this in The Republic. A soul ruled by appetite is a tyrant's soul, always thirsty, never still. You're not loving her, you're addicted to her nod, and she knows it. The moment you handed her your crown, she tested you, not out of spite but instinct. Machiavelli wrote, "Men are so simple that he who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived." Her tests aren't personal, they're primal. She pulls away, you chase. She withholds, you beg. Each time you bend, you lose gravity. You become a satellite orbiting her moods, not a man with his own center. The silence wasn't empty, it was surgical, exposing the wound you ignored. You need her more than you need yourself. Look back. That moment she went cold, and you scrambled to fix it. What were you fixing? Not her heart, but your own panic. You traded your mission for her glance, your values for her touch. And she didn't catch you when you fell, not because she's cruel, but because she's not built to. She selects, she tests, she adapts. Building is your burden, your curse, your crown. When you forget that, you don't just lose her, you lose the fire that makes you a man. Did she change? Or did you just stop seeing her strategy? You've seen the men who crumble. No light unless she gives it, no fire unless she fans it. They're not men. They're shadows, flickering, fragile, forgettable. You felt their pain, the ache of her absence, the sting of her silence. You thought it was love, but it was dependence. You thought it was connection, but it was control. She doesn't want you broken. She wants you real. But real men don't orbit. They stand, they build, they burn with their own fire, not hers. The disillusion hits hard. Every time you chased her approval, you gave away your power. Every time you bent to her mood, you chipped away your gravity. You thought you were being romantic. She thought you'd lost your edge. And she was right. She can't love what she doesn't respect, and she doesn't respect what she can control. The pain isn't her leaving. It's realizing you were already gone, a satellite spinning in her shadow, not a man with his own light. Stare into the mirror, not her eyes, your own. What do you see? A man who swapped his purpose for her approval. A man who kneels to keep her close. The pain of abandonment isn't her leaving. It's knowing you betrayed yourself to make her stay. Socrates spoke of the soul's three parts: reason, spirit, appetite. When appetite leads, you dissolve. You don't lead her, you follow your hunger for her, and she feels it, not as love, but as weakness. The mirror shows your cracks. Her tests, her silence, her withdrawal aren't obstacles, they're signals. If her absence breaks you, the weakness was already there. If her rejection dims your fire, you never owned the flame. A 2023 study in Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found women are drawn to emotional resilience, men who don't crumble under pressure. Your intellect doesn't seduce her. Your certainty does. Your command of your reality does. You felt the sting, her pulling back, and you, desperate, offering more of yourself to fill the gap. But every piece you gave made you smaller. She didn't want you broken. She wanted you real. Her tests are a mirror, showing you what you refuse to see. You've read her moods better than your own values. You've recited her scripts, not your own vows. The pain isn't her leaving, it's realizing you were already gone. When did you start chasing her light instead of guarding your own fire? You've been in that moment. Her voice sharpens, her eyes go cold, and your chest tightens. You want to fix it, to make her smile again, but fixing her means breaking yourself. You've done it before, sacrificed your plans, your principles, your peace to keep her close. And where did it get you? Not closer to her, but further from yourself. The mirror doesn't lie. Every time you chased her approval, you lost gravity. Every time you begged for her warmth, you dimmed your fire. She's not the enemy. She's the signal, exposing the voids you've ignored. The pain is raw, not just her absence, but the betrayal of your own soul. You thought you were building love, but you were building chains. You thought her light would save you, but it only showed you what you lack. The mirror is merciless, but it's also your map. It shows you where you've fallen and where you can rise. Here's where the myth burns away. You don't need her light. You are the fire. Socrates taught that power belongs to the man who cannot be deceived, especially by what he loves. Stop chasing her body, master your appetites. Stop chasing her love, offer your truth and let her respond. This is the revolution, non-reaction. When she tests you, when she pulls away, when she withholds, stand still. Choose reason over reaction. Adjust your sail, don't curse the wind. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Your longing for her isn't fate. It's a chain you forged. Break it. Become the man who could walk away and still be whole. Not because you're cold, but because you're complete. She's not your anchor. She's the tide. Her nature is fluid, adaptive, wild. Yours is gravity, grounded, unshakable. When you embody this, she feels it, not in fear, but in awe. She doesn't fall for you. She aligns with you. This is the sacred trial. Every rejection, every silence, every test is an arena. Most men fall, betraying their throne for a fleeting glance. But you stand. You hold. You choose sovereignty over submission. Her affection doesn't define you. Your mission does. Her presence doesn't complete you. Your clarity does. You've seen the men who crumble. No light unless she gives it. No fire unless she fans it. They're not men. They're shadows, flickering, fragile, forgettable. Socrates lived this. While others chased applause, he chased truth. In Symposium, he learned from Diotima that love is a ladder, from one body to all beauty, to wisdom, to the divine. Most men stall at the first rung, rotting in pleasure. You don't. You climb. She's the gate, not the kingdom. Her tests are wind, but you're the mast. Your strength isn't in controlling her. It's in outgrowing the need for her to define you. You felt her mirror your uncertainty with brutal precision. That moment she went cold, and your world tilted. That wasn't her power. It was your weakness exposed. But weakness isn't defeat. It's a signal to rise, to refine, to become the man who loves without losing, leads without dominating, feels without falling apart. This isn't stoicism, it's sovereignty, the masculine essence, stripped of addiction. What would happen if you stopped needing her to feel like a man? You've been in the arena. Her voice rises, her affection fades, and you're tempted to grovel. But groveling is betrayal, not of her, but of yourself. Stand still. Let her tide rage. You are the mast, unmoved by her shifts. This is where most men fail. They chase her light, thinking it's their fire. But your fire is yours alone. Guard it. Build it. Let it burn so bright she can't look away, not because you demand it, but because you deserve it. The awakening is brutal but clear. You don't need her to feel alive. You need your own gravity, your own mission, your own truth. When you live this, she doesn't just stay, she aligns. Not out of fear, but respect. Not out of control, but choice. You become the man she can't leave, not because you're the richest or the loudest, but because you're whole. You're fire, not a candle she lights or snuffs out. You began this wounded, chasing her light to fill your darkness. Now you see, the darkness was yours to master, not hers to heal. The truth you dodged is stark. You didn't lose her. You lost the man you became to keep her. Her tests weren't punishment. They were calls to rise, to become the man who doesn't kneel, not from pride, but from principle. The masculine arc isn't seeking validation, it's forging gravity. Stand at dawn, brother, where the world is still and no one watches. Feel the fire in your chest, not her approval in your heart. That's where dignity is forged, not in her arms, but in your unshakable core. She's not your therapist, your savior, or your mirror. She's the tide, testing your mast. When you stand firm, she doesn't just stay, she aligns. Not because you demanded it, but because you earned it. If this truth cracked your chains, share it. Not for the algorithm, for the man still asleep, orbiting her shadow. Socrates chose death over compromise. You don't need to die, but you need to live. Live as the man who sees through illusion, who holds his line, who builds his kingdom for himself. The world will call you cold, distant, too firm. Let them. They fear men who cannot be bent, men who don't trade their soul for a kiss, men who stand because falling is no longer an option. In the comments, write one word: sovereignty. Let it be your oath to face the truth, to burn the illusions, to become unshaken. See yourself at dawn, fire blazing within, no longer chasing her light. You are the gravity now. This is dark Psyphoria, where illusions burn and something ancient rises. Thank you for watching. Walk your path with quiet strength.